talk about one of the ones that probably
was the most complicated order of them all.
the most complicated order, and then know by who it was, but
just the communication.
Just
to
the
get
communication,
there, yeah.
And then I think the stress.
Yes.
The stress too of when we interviewed the Riveras. Oh my gosh! We found out we were interviewing them like 4 days before we were going to interview them. Okay, of course, you already know a lot about them. I knew a lot about them. I had already watched the Riveras. I don't think you've seen the actual show, but you knew about,
I was a fan of their mom's music.
Yes. She didn't know too much about the kids.
No, I didn't know too much about the kids. I don't pay for cable, so I'm sorry. But I knew about her mom and her all.
And so it was really cool because we both had different takes, which is always nice. Because whenever we interview anybody, you guys, I give Elisa the information, I take the information, we do our own research separately. Mm-hmm. And then we come back together and it's like, okay, what did you think? What did you find? What did you think interesting? What do I think? And then we put together our thoughts, and that's how we come up with our questions that we interview with everybody with. So we really didn't have that much time to do that with this one.
And not to mention there was a couple individuals involved, not just one person.
Right. So we landed that interview through my blog because I'm a blogger, and one of my agencies that I work with reached out and said, hey, do you want to interview the Riveras? And we were like, yeah. They're like, it's like a group, and like a group session, and do you want to interview them? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, like we'll do it.
Yes.
Yeah, we're like, yes, hello. And so we were like, so we said yes, and it was like, okay, it's this day, this time. Here's the call-in number. Here's the password. This is the part.
I still don't even know it. I still don't know it.
You look it up. What is that word?
Let me get my phone.
Go look it up. She's gonna go look it up. Okay, so anyways, back to business. We are preparing to call, and
we're early in time because we're professional.
We're professional. We're good about that stuff. So we're like, okay, we're gonna be ready. We like literally clear our whole schedule. Gonna like close down the store. I was like, I took a day off of work. It was like we were gonna do this, right? So we're getting ready, and then I was like, oh my gosh, and I realized like we're only one of 5 people on the call. Mm-hmm. Okay, which was crazy. It was like a publicist from New York, 2 people from Mexico.
Yes. Noticieros.
Y una DJ de El Paso, where Lorenzo's from.
Yes.
And us. And that was it. And we were like, because I'm thinking like, oh, it's a group call. We don't know how. So it was the first time I was doing a group interview.
Yes.
Because all our interviews are one-on-one. So we were just really, really like, okay, we got to interview these big-time people in a group session. Like, how's it gonna
work?
How's it gonna go? So we were like, okay, I'm just gonna have to really put my editing skills into work afterwards, which is what I had to do. So we call in, and we're early, and we're waiting. The music's playing. We're like, yeah, we're ready. Elisa has her questions, and we're sitting there. Y nada. And I'm like, but it's past the time.
I know.
What if we're not on? What if we're missing it?
No, and it gets good. It gets better.
So we hang up, right?
Yeah, and then we try again.
And the man from Mexico who's putting together the phone call.
Not a Team Girl Talking Ma supporter at all.
Doesn't even know, right? And so he answers the phone, and he's like basically like, what do you guys want? And we're like, oh, we were on that call, we're Girl Talking Mas, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, and he says, so what does he say?
He says, what is the contraseña?
We're like,
and I'm like, huh? He just stays quiet, and I'm just like, okay, contraseña. I'm like, oh, you mean password? Like clave. It's a clave, ¿verdad? ¿Qué es la clave? And then, what was it, like Rivera, whatever?
Yeah, it was Rivera something.
So I'm like, god damn, that contraseña. I think Marisa resonated more with Chiquis and Jackie. Yes. I resonated more with the other siblings, and it was really nice to get all our questions out and them answer us like very authentically. Like Chiquis was eating, which is kind of cute because she was hungry.
Yeah, she was hungry. It was playing all the time, and they were doing a bunch of media. This was when the Riveras were first coming out. I know they had
it was like a week before.
It was a week before. It was the week before, and they were doing tons of interviews and tons of press. So it was just really nice that we even had the opportunity to be on the phone call with them. And it's been nice because they have shared our podcast and connected with us since then. So
we've had a lot of our questions answered.
Yes,
we did. Shows moved on.
We did have a lot of our questions answered because obviously then they were not talking about like the whole Lorenzo Chiquis thing and all that stuff. And it's just been so nice to see Jackie as a performer bloom. She's really performing
Beautiful
right now,
voice.
and she's doing amazing. Her whole weight loss journey, and Jenica is doing like modeling and makeup. And you guys need to go check them out if you haven't yet. Check out our podcast interview with them. It came out really great. It was a great interview. It was an experience.
It was an experience because we've had calls like that since then. So
that has taught us something else.
Definitely, it was one for the books for sure.
But it was such a fun episode and such a great experience, and just one of our little Girl Talking Mouse behind the scenes. But keynote to the story is, I guess what?
Password means contraseña.
And we appreciate your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And until next time.
Yeah. Bloopers. Canela, she's an OG.